Okay, you guys know what time it is. It is time to talk about the 10 best weapons in Elden Ring. Now, quick disclaimer, I am limiting it to one weapon per weapon class because I like putting y'all on to some variety. And I know there are so many amazing weapons in this game. This list is indeed biased. And at the end of the day, we're here to have fun and talk about some dope-ass weapons in Elden Ring. So let's get right into it. Number 10. The Blasphemous Blade. Honestly, I was having a really hard time deciding between this and the Claymore. Both are top tier greatswords in this game, but I simply can't look past how strong the Blasphemous Blade is in PvE and invasions. Obviously, the highlight of this weapon is the unique Ash of War Taker's Flames. You raise your sword in the air, slam it down, sending out a line of eruptions in front of you. When it lands, you get great damage, and it heals you for 10% of your HP. On top of that, as long as you have the blade equipped, every enemy that dies near you will grant you 4% of your max HP back. You basically have infinite sustain with this sword. It can also stack with other healing effects to make it even more potent. For the moveset, you get the basic greatsword moveset, which is nothing to scoff at. Any enemy that is weak to fire, which there are a lot of them, is going to get vaporized in no time at all. Even against enemies and bosses who aren't weak to fire, the raw power and healing effects will absolutely carry you. All of this makes the sword an absolute beast in PvP, especially in multi-combat scenarios like invasions. Your flask disadvantage won't feel nearly as bad because of, again, all the healing. You can easily hit multiple people with one Ash of War. Free aiming is incredibly easy. Switching targets during the startup of the Ash will definitely catch other players off guard. Even in duels where you'd think this weapon wouldn't shine as much, it's still very reliable. There are reasons why the Blasphemous Blade has been hyped up for so long. Some would maybe consider it overhyped, but I get why it's used and loved by so many players. This ain't no greatsword. This is a goat sword, my friends. I still really love the Claymore though. That moveset is so nasty. You can get the Blasphemous Blade once you defeat Rykard in Volcano Manor and get his remembrance. Number 9. Claws of Night, aka the Shotgun from Hell. From Software absolutely cooked with this one. The Claws of Night are, of course, dex-oriented claw weapons, but with a nice little twist. The heavy attacks are actually ranged throwing attacks, though you only send out a few needles. Regardless, they don't cost any FP, and having ranged attacks on a claw weapon is already insane. Then the Ash of War Scatter Shot Throw is basically the heavy attack on steroids. You wind up and send out a scatter shot of black needles. With buffs from the Shard of Alexander and Smithing Talisman, as well as the innate bleed buildup that comes on the weapon, the damage you get out of these claws is mind-boggling. The needles can headshot and stagger enemies, the bleed proc is damn near instantaneous if you land a scatter shot throw, constantly getting chip damage and applying pressure with the heavy attacks too. And remember, if anyone gets close, you still have claw light attacks to use, which are some of the quickest attacks out there. Easily one of the best dueling weapons in the game. You can quickly burst down and shred any enemy. The simple fact that the Claws of Night double as a really powerful ranged option, it basically covers the weaknesses that claws normally have. Buffable, versatile, unique, and a lot of fun. You really can't ask for much more out of a weapon. The Claws of Night drop from Sword Hand of Night Anna at the Finger Ruins of Metter in the DLC. Number 8. The Falx. The whole design behind this weapon, and its unique Ash of War Revenger's Blade, is run up to an enemy and absolutely spaz out. Trust me, I know it looks goofy, but you do not want to get hit by these. Dual-wielding curved swords is already one of the strongest setups. Now pair that with one of the best unique ashes to be put into Elden Ring, and you have the Falx. 55 bleed buildup per hit, typical dual curved sword moveset, and yes, this is a paired weapon, so you don't need to get two of them to dual wield. With the basic moves alone, you can put in some work. Then, Revenger's Blade comes into the equation. The first stage of the Ash is a run-up execution style move that has amazing tracking. You can manipulate the path you take really easily, and you cover a lot of ground. However, the really ridiculous part of this Ash of War is the heavy attack follow-up, where you unleash a flurry of slashes that makes the 55 bleed build up per hit actually makes sense. Just like with the Claws of Night, the bleed proc is going to be instant if you land the full thing. It's very satisfying to land no matter who or what you're fighting. And honestly, it has basically ruined all other curved swords for me. The Falx just does it better than the rest. It's so clean and simple, anyone can pick it up and have a blast with it. 10 out of 10. And the Falx is dropped by Hornsent in the DLC. And depending on how you interact with them will dictate whenever you get the Falx. Number 7, Blood Fiend's Arm. All of you bleed enjoyers out there are salivating right now. Pound for pound, hit for hit, the Blood Fiend's Arm is the bleed weapon. With how powerful the bleed status effect is, it's impossible to ignore the colossal weapon that can one-tap bleed anything that can be bled. It's an arcane strength armament that is infusible, and has heavy attacks that it shares with the Great Club, though these are a bit more special. While the animations are the same between the two colossals, the Blood Fiend's Arm heavies have a blood splash effect when they make contact, causing the attacks to deal additional status buildup and fire damage. The stance damage from them is also incredible, meaning all you have to do is put on bleed affinity, use heavy attacks, and congratulations, you're now staggering and deleting the world. There are plenty of interesting and powerful setups you can run with the Blood Fiend's Arm, and the heavy attacks don't just increase bleed buildup. Any status effect can benefit from these heavy attacks. Absolutely disgusting both visually and in combat, the Blood Fiend's Arm is too ridiculous to overlook, and it is a guaranteed drop from the Blood Fiend group found within Prospect Town in the DLC. Number 6, Cleanrot Knight Sword. Stab, run, stab, quick stab, another quick stab, stab, run, stab, stab, roll, stab, stab, stab. That is the thrusting sword playstyle in a nutshell, and the Cleanrot Knight Sword does it the best. I've seen others even calling it the Brainrot Sword, which is honestly fitting. Come on guys, let's be real. Thrusting swords, especially the Cleanrot Knight Sword, are uber brain dead. So easy to use and so powerful for no reason. Every attack is a poke, and they are some of the safest and quickest pokes in the game. In duels, you can smother your opponents to death with basically no risk. Even if opponents try to time their swings and trade into you, they will probably be too slow anyway. If someone gets too aggressive, you can always resort to spamming your light attack button and watch as your opponent's health melts away. If someone tries running away from you, then you resort to roll catching them to death with running lights and heavies. In the open world, most mobs will be combo food. Sure, you're not going to be staggering every enemy with the Cleanrot Knight Sword, but your DPS is off the charts, especially when you use status effects and or hard-hitting ashes. Also, the range doesn't even make sense. You will swear this thing is double the size it appears to be. There are visually longer weapons in the game that get outspaced by the Cleanrot Knight Sword. I'm just gonna say it, this weapon's bullshit. There's a reason why people who are afraid of losing will immediately switch to it when their health gets low in PvP. You can turn your brain off and smoke everything in your way. It's cracked, and it has a 4% chance to drop from Cleanrot Knights who are wielding it. Number 5, Lance. Really, most of the great spears could go here. In general, it's an overtuned weapon class. Everything I'm going to say about the lance, besides the fact it's infusible, holds true for basically every other great spear out there. It really comes down to what you're comfortable with and what you prefer. I'm going with the lance because, well, for starters, you can get it in the beginning of the game. It's found in a Godric soldier camp in Limgrave that is southwest of the death-touched catacombs. And as long as you have 20 strength and 14 dex, you're good to go from there. Simple poke moveset with slashing heavies, really good reach, amazing damage. You get good scaling with pretty much any affinity, allowing it to be used comfortably in all kinds of builds. You get one of the best Ash of War selections in the game. Things like Ice Spear, Flame Skewer, Earth Shaker, Thunderbolt, Cragblade, Waves of Darkness. It's really a pick your poison situation. It's honestly tough to make a bad lance build. It's been consistent since release. I haven't even mentioned the dual wield moveset. If you go into duels, you'll probably come across 5 different players all wearing solitude armor with 2 lances. And yes, these are the same people that pull out the Cleanrot Knight Sword when they start losing. Swear to God, it's like the fucking Buzz Lightyear aisle in arenas now. It's honestly sad. But that's neither here nor there. The lance is a great weapon. Personally, I love running an Ice Spear setup on it. It demolishes everything in the game. With the lance in your hands, everything will be alright. And again, that goes for basically any great spear. Number 4, Carrion Thrusting Shield. Okay, this thing's fucked. The Carrion Thrusting Shield is a beast. A weapon you can block and attack with at the same time. FromSoft, y'all were off your rockers with this one. What are we doing, boys? You get a light attack string, heavy attack string, and a blocking attack string. You can block and counter attack with no risk in most scenarios. It's kind of like having an Uno reverse card for a weapon. Fighting against one of these in PvP can be a complete nightmare unless you have a really large weapon and good timing, or you can utilize kick consistently to counter it. Even then, it can be really tough to play around because you still have to deal with normal attacks. In PvE, you can block smack through most attacks that get thrown your way. Something like the deflect tier is especially broken in combination with the Carrion Thrusting Shield. If you haven't tried that setup yet, I would highly recommend it. The moveset isn't the most fluid one out there, but you still get great damage out of your attacks, even when blocking. You get innate intelligence scaling too, solid Ash of War selection, and I gotta say, Ashes of War that buff your weapon look amazing on this. Really, that's all there is to say though. You can block and attack at the same time. The Carrion Thrusting Shield is damn near a perfect weapon for both PvE and PvP, with basically no real counters if you build around it correctly. And you can find it in the storehouse section of Shadowkeep. Number 3, Nagakiba. Let's be honest, when it comes to what the best katana in the game is, it's between the Moonveil and Nagakiba. Maybe the Sword of Night, I could kind of see an argument for that. It really depends on who you ask, but in general, katanas are outstanding weapons. Personally, I have to go with the Nagakiba though. Katanas are pretty busted in this game. That might be an understatement on my part, honestly. You're totally safe the entire time you're using the Nagakiba. I'm starting to believe there are 0 frames of recovery on katana attacks. I know that's not true, but that's how it feels. And the Nagakiba, the sweet, sweet Nagakiba, it will be your best friend. It will treat you so well. Every attack is so non-committal, even the thrusting heavy attacks you get on it. It's the longest katana in the game, and it's just as fast as all of them, with a superior moveset, great scaling with a really nice Ash of War selection, and all you need is Unsheath, by the way. Hell, you can even use Piercing Fang, which is what comes on it, and never change a thing. You will slice your way through everything in PvE. In PvP, the Nagakiba, okay, it's fucking amazing. It is, okay? So is Moonveil, okay? These katanas are obnoxious, man. Anyway, try out the Nagakiba if you haven't. It's dropped by Bloody Finger Hunter Yura, who does have a cool side quest, so I wouldn't recommend killing him early. Can't lie, the aura is pretty unreal with that guy now that I'm thinking about it. Number 2, Rakshasa's Great Katana. Listen, I don't know how many people would even put this in their top 10, or top 5, or top 3, but I'm in love with this weapon, okay? The moveset, along with the Ash of War, this is one of the smoothest weapons FromSoft has ever created. Truly a work of art, this Great Katana is. For starters, the unique Ash of War, Weed Cutter, gives you a ton of hyper armor as you relentlessly do sweeping slashes with your weapon. One Ash of War input is 2 slashes, then you can do it again, and again, and again, and again. Any mob in the game cannot mess with you when you're using this. It genuinely feels like you're cutting through weeds, or butter with a hot knife. It feels like you're popping a balloon with a missile. Mobs just become nothing. Bosses, bit of a different story. I wouldn't recommend using Weed Cutter as much, especially against larger ones that don't get staggered by every hit. At that point though, that's when you utilize the perfect moveset this weapon has, and yes, I said perfect. You have a nice mixture of pokes and slashes with the light attacks, and a unique heavy thrusting attack, jumping attacks, running attacks, all insane, and to top all of it off, every attack on this weapon generates poise. Every single one. And I'm not saying like, oh, now you're gonna be able to tank like a katana. No, like, you can just tank shit with this weapon. In PvP, this weapon is so hard to play around. The reach, moveset, damage, and hyper armor will make it a nightmare for most opponents in matchups you come across. Roll catching someone close to you with the Ash of War will typically lead to another roll catch if you keep going. I have never seen so many people panic roll in my life than when I'm using Weed Cutter. I see the potential with this weapon. I know the things I've done with this weapon. I've seen the things people have done with this weapon. Favorite weapon in the game without a doubt. Probably my favorite weapon in Souls. Absolutely disgusting. Goated Ash of War, goated moveset. Rakshasa is such a sweet enemy too, has a dope armor set to go along with the katana. There's not much else to say. Rakshasa's great katana is the shit. And real quick, before we get to the top pick, here is a list of honorable mentions. These are weapons that are amazing in their own right, though they just did not make it onto my personal top 10 list. Remember guys, there are a lot of amazing weapons in this game, a ton of variety, and if you have made it this far into the video, I appreciate you. Number 1, oh fuck, okay. Number 1, the Pada. When it comes to the fist weapons of this game, the Star Fist and Pada definitely stick out as the best options. Personally, I'm on the side of the Pada, and see, this is why I love this game. There are so many strong and versatile weapons at your disposal. The variety is simply unmatched, and a lot of it is going to come down to your personal preference. Anyway, the Pada, I'll get straight to the point. When FromSoft decides to give us a fist weapon that doesn't even come with the main drawback of using fist weapons, you know it's fucking diabolical. Obviously, when you choose to use a fist weapon, your range is going to be limited. That's the whole idea. Your range is limited, but you can attack fast and dump damage. Well, with the Pada, you don't get poor range. At all. In fact, for a fist weapon, the range is so fucking stupid. So stupid. This weapon should not exist. There's not a fist weapon, or claw, or dagger that beats it in terms of range. There are some weapons from other longer weapon classes that hardly touch this thing's range. It's infusible and buffable, works great with any build. In PvP, you can do a running light attack, into a running light attack, into a running light attack, into another running light attack, and win. They nerfed the damage against other players in patch 1.14, but it doesn't really matter at all. Like I said, the Pada feels like it should not exist. This type of design for a fist weapon is problematic. It's too good. Again, the main drawback of fist weapons has always been the range, and the Pada solves that problem completely. Pretty toxic weapon at the end of the day. Can't lie, it is a lot of fun to use. Again, it's not my favorite weapon in the game, but I simply cannot ignore how ridiculously stupid the design is. It just, it has everything going for it. It's too good. And you will find the Pada on a body next to the Church of Benediction in the DLC. And that does it for my top 10 list of the best weapons in Elden Ring. Go ahead and comment down below what you think the best weapons are in this game. Drop a like if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe if you want to see future content. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Night rain soon, baby. Let's go!